We're going to walk you through the gear for the Camino and look at the latest State of Play beer.
Oh, yum.
Oh, yeah. Hey guys, here for a Beer O'Clock video again. We do have some new beer, but we should probably introduce Grant, you may have met before, who is State of Play, and he's just come up with this new Double IPA. And I've got to say, I took a little swig before and I was quite impressed.
What were those words that you used? Oh wow.
Oh wow, that was the exact response I got. And to be fair, there's a very nice smell that comes from it. The classic
We say aroma.
aroma. See, this is the scientific word for it.
Yes. So the last thing that you do in the brewing process is what you smell and taste first.
Yep.
And the last thing we added was some amazing Rakow and Motueka hop oils. And you get, well, don't want to put words in your mouth, but passion fruit.
You do. It's very fruity.
Peach, pineapple, with a nice long flavourful mouthfeel, and then a nice bit of bitterness at the end.
Yep, and exactly what I've just tasted it, and that's exactly the response I've got.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, double IPAs.
Yeah, but you got to remember this is also 0%.
It's
isn't it?
0%. So
that's the kicker of this all, is that you are drinking beer, but it's 0%, and that's a pretty cool thing. And it's getting more and more common, isn't it?
Well, it's the one part of beer that's growing.
Yep.
Yeah, we're sort of doubling in size every year.
Yep.
And so we're now up to 6 different beers.
Wow, that's a big selection. By the way, I have tried them all. This is the most recent one.
This is a week old, this one. So hold off the press.
That's right. That's very cool. So if you haven't got yourself some of these, where do you find these?
Yeah, so in Christchurch, we're at New World Durham Street.
Oh yes.
Frank's Liquor in Ireland, and then just more and more each
Yep.
week. It's just at the very beginning of that. If
Yep.
you're in a real hurry, you go on to
There you
stateofplaybeer.com
go.
and we'll just ship it straight to your door.
Perfect. So you now know how to get yourself on some. We've got ours sorted, so you should definitely get yours. But yeah, the other reason you're here is because you've done the Camino twice, is that right?
Yeah, so I did the Francis in 25, and I've just come back from the Camino Portuguese from Lisbon.
And how was it?
It was a sort of tale of two halves,
Right.
the Portuguese one.
Yep.
From Lisbon to Porto, I think only 2% of people that do the Portuguese
Right.
do that part of the
Gotcha.
route. It was a bit like, if those are familiar with the Francis, it was like starting the Meseta on day one. Not much, big long days, not too many services.
Right.
The flip side of that is I kind of got the hard part out of the way early, and then by the time I got to Porto, oh, what a dream.
Oh, that's what you're sort of about,
And
eh?
it was a pastel de nata
Yep.
custard tart
Oh,
daily ritual that saw me through.
that's pretty convincing, isn't it?
So yeah,
Oh, that's
it was,
awesome.
and from Porto, that's where the bulk of the Camino walkers are now going from,
Right.
and it's now bigger than the Frances.
Oh, wow. There you go. Perfect. Right, so we've got some gear that we've got in front of us. And now I understand this is the core stuff that you've taken for both trips.
Yes.
And this is kind of, I guess been, moved down the range to work out what exactly he actually needs. And it works really well. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I think the thing that's just in my head the whole time is you pack your fears.
Yeah.
And second time round, I was about 4 kilograms lighter than the
Right.
Francis, because I
Yep.
just stopped with all the water packing, and my core gear, which we've got here, I just can't speak highly enough of it.
Yep. So we've got Aarn Packs. So, there's a bunch of brands out there, but Aarn Packs for you is working really well, isn't it?
Really well. I mean, if I had $1 or €1 for every time someone stopped me on the trail saying, "Oh, can you tell me about your pack?"
Yep.
It was incredible. It's just the fact that you just don't feel it
Yep.
on your shoulders.
Exactly.
The waist belt was just perfect. And once you get used to the system of what you put in the front pockets and what you put in the back, and the fact that it's only 35 litres, you certainly wouldn't
So you don't need a big pack.
Nah, no
But
way.
you are doing, you know, the whole back plus the front pockets. So this is
Yep.
the natural exhilaration for those that aren't aware. And it's a very comfortable harness, very breathable. And then, let's just grab the front pockets, pop this down for a sec. So this is the multi pockets. So they are 7 litres between them, and the idea is you've got your backpack, and then these here go on the front, which is really, really handy. So that gave you all the necessary stuff during the day.
Phones, your credentials, passports, snacks, everything I needed during the day was here. So
Perfect.
I hardly ever had to take the backpack off. And you know, of course, then it's part of the whole balancing system.
Yep.
But yeah, I just yeah, I think mine were maybe even smaller, the front pockets. But some people had, yeah, just whatever you felt was
whatever works for you. Everyone's a bit different, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now, these shoes here, they're pretty light, aren't they?
They are epic.
Toppos.
Yeah.
So this is the Ultra Venture. And when Grant first came in, he goes, I need a shoe for the Camino. And this is what we put into him. So really nice and breathable, lightweight, super comfy, eh?
Super comfy, just slip on. I never had a blister in 65 days of Camino walking.
Perfect. And it's got a nice, generous toe box. So fits a lot of people out there, obviously fits you quite well. And they weigh nothing, so when you're long days on your feet, although how long was the average day?
6 to 8 hours.
There you go. So that's going to do everything you need.
I got about one size bigger than normal.
Yep, because your feet have a bit of swelling.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then you accompanied that with these gaiters here from Topo.
The gaiters were great.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily use the Topo ones. There's a couple of brands that we've got in the store that work, but the Topo ones do typically work best with their shoes. And they stop any debris going into your shoe, right?
Which is, I think, the main source of blisters on the Camino. And then I just used the Injinji socks, the toe socks.
Famous toe socks. So these guys normally go really well with the Topo shoes. Wide toe box, helps reduce blisters, really good for moisture management, but also really comfy.
And a bit of Grand's Foot remedy as a bit of a side tip there.
Oh, there you go. And then these poles from Licky, you swear by them, don't you?
They were awesome. They've got these great little gloves that you just have on all the time. And as you needed the poles, you just click on.
Yep.
But it just meant that you weren't using your hand and your wrist to hold on. Your whole arm was, the mechanics behind the pole.
And the best part is they go down small, don't they?
Yep, they go down small, and then I don't know if it's normal or not, but sometimes, when I was doing something with my other hand, I would have, I'd just fold it up and I'd just slide it in the balance pockets.
Awesome. So they come as a set. These are the, for those that want to know, they're the Cross Trail from Licky, so they come in the glove. These are actually a carbon, so you're getting the lightest weight you can get, but a lot of comfort, but the compactness is what you want for travel.
Yeah.
So they don't take up much space, which is really, really important.
And you told me it was great, but of course I didn't believe you, but the cork handle is definitely the way to go.
Absorbs moisture really well, and it's super comfy.
Yeah.
Now, you said before, don't fit the umbrella.
Well, it probably was the surprise piece for me.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
And I used it more for the sun than the rain.
Oh, well, there you go. Sun protection is an important thing.
Yep.
So get something nice and small. This is from Life Venture. We've got them in store. They don't take up much space, and they can go on the outside of your pack, no problem at all. The one piece of kit I didn't think I'd hear at all. So obviously there's a bit more to your gear that you take as well. So for everyone that's doing it, just work out what works for you. Less is better in a way, because you can have concise gear and it doesn't add up in weight.
Yeah.
And you don't need a humongous pack to do the trip.
Totally. Yeah. And you don't need 10 pairs of anything.
No.
You just need a routine
That's
just daily wash and repack and natural fibres for clothing. And the other thing is you won't buy anything along the way because you don't want to carry any more.
There you go.
So just get on with it, I reckon.
Yeah, so we've got all this in store. Obviously, we've got more range as well, so we can try some other stuff. But come check it out. Grant came to us. I'm sure you guys can do the same. We'll help you out. We'll get the right stuff for the right job. But thanks very much for coming in and sharing your experience.
You're welcome.
Yeah, awesome.
Cheers.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.